Hello and welcome back to yet another video from MattyDTube, and in today's video I have a completely different topic, which a video topic about future life. And the first video in this topic series will be about school. I've done some videos about school already, and I have probably touched on this a little bit, I believe, in my maths video, link rather in the description or above my head. But I guess I'll be broadening it out a little bit more in this video. And again, as per usual, I'll be doing 3 of these and one that has a small link to it, and that will be the end of this topic series. Then you have to wait for the next one, which I'll be deciding on which one I'll be doing for this part of the video. And yeah, let's actually get started in this video. Roll the intro. Okay, so the first point will be about getting a job. Now, getting a job that requires obviously our GCSEs in England. In England, we need to pass our GCSEs, which is basically an academic test for us to get a job. Anything, even working in McDonald's, becoming a garbage man, anything that we really want to do in the future, assuming that even wanting to work in McDonald's is something they want to do, even as a startup job, you still need your GCSEs to be able to actually work there, which is pretty crazy. You need your GCSEs and a good grade. It's not crazy, it means average for everyone else to do, to be able to get a job, really. It's basically just, I know this is what the teachers say, and it slightly contradicts my last video, but I will still go by what I said in my last video. It is rather hard for you to remember everything that you have learned, even after revising and then throwing everything up on the test, basically, which is basically what a test is. Just remembering your knowledge. Well, what if you have, like, I don't know, brain damage, or like, what if you have amnesia or something? Then yeah, that's basically, you need that in order for you to even get a job. So school, yes, it does matter, and it can affect your future life, i.e. getting a job or being a functional member of society. And I'm not gonna stick with, oh yes, school is just good, because there are some great things in school, yes, but others I'll get to in a couple points down. Second point. In school, again, I mentioned this last video, well, assuming that the last video, unless I post one before this one, was about Kuro Sensei's quotes. Competition. The competition in school is basically against your peers. You as an individual, I can't speak today. You as an individual are up against thousands of people in your school, and for you to strive to be the best out of thousands is obviously going to take a lot of hard work, and for you're going to have to put a lot of effort into such a feat. With that being said, school, yeah, it helps us get a job, obviously, and then 2, it brings up that competition that might help us in the future into really in anything else, that we have that motivation to become the best, aka in our workplace. Oh, we will work harder so that we get this reward of becoming or getting promoted, not becoming manager straight away, but getting promoted slowly but surely. So that competition and that rivalry amongst your peers to become the best will definitely come to foot in it's just a phrase, in the future, in the near or distant future, depending on how old you are. Yeah, so it can help competition wise, and obviously academics and smarts wise, but this is just a small section. I had to put a con into this so that it can be at least reasonably fair, which will be in the future. We're not going to be using further maths or advanced maths to be paying for stuff. That's just a small thing, because we do more than just go out and shop. Yeah, we also need to say, oh, I'm going to put this money aside for this, that money aside for this, that and that and that. I'm going to use this for this, and then depending on what you work as, you're also going to need further maths. But just a small side point. That wasn't like a major point, but it's just a small side point. So yeah, to sum up everything, I'm not even done, otherwise that would be pretty short. Fourth point: school doesn't really intend on teaching you this, and it's not intentional, but it does come across as this because things will happen in life. Not in class, but outside of class sometimes, and just generally in playgrounds. Other thing that it can bring up is your social skills, because you're gonna most likely gonna have to socialize with some people in the school group or in school. Teachers, okay, so let me just say everything and then say what I need to say. Friends, teachers, I'm going to read off my notebook for a little bit. So it is, where is it? Friends, teachers, and how to handle people depending. Basically some life lessons that school can teach you, but it won't really be school teaching you this. It's not like they're going to sit you down in class and say, hey class, today we're going to learn about this and that. No. Let's say you can come across different people with rather different ideas where you might argue with them or debate with them, or so you can learn how to debate and like get your point across. If it sounds confusing, what I meant to say was that school teaches you what, and school doesn't teach you, like, oh, let's sit down class and let me teach you how to handle bullies or racist people or something like that. Yeah, I guess that's really it. Really short voice note, but I guess that's what I was trying to say. So yeah, back to the video, I guess. Woo. And so such things. Also, i.e., let's say you're working with like a racist teacher, for example, and that, as long as you know how to like handle such a situation, then in the future, let's say for example that person goes up and on the bus someone's being racist to him or her, then they know how to handle that situation. So it can teach you things, but it's not intentionally teaching you those lessons, but it may come across as that, and you may learn those things through your time at school. I believe there is a fifth point, so I'll get to that. Okay, so there's no fifth point, but there basically are some bonus parts. I mean, school, it does help depending on what you want to be. I'm going to read from my notebook, just letting you know what you want to be in the future, but some things they just genuinely don't teach us in school. Those are lacking parts, and you may have to find out those things on your own, in your own time. And I mean, personally in my school, once we go over a topic, what did I just do? Anyways, when we learn a topic or subject once, a topic in the subject, i.e., I don't know, we're doing percentages in maths, maybe we have 2 or 3 lessons of that, and then we move on to the next topic. We might go back to that, maybe, but it's up to the student, him or herself, to actually go home and say, you know what, there are the better things to do in life. Let me revise. I'm sure that might not happen for the majority of the people that I know, but basically what they want to do, I believe it's like discipline yourself, like learn the hard way. If you don't do this, then you're gonna fail your test. We're not gonna hit you, but we'll hit you with a B or an F minus, and then your parents will hit you. So anyways, that aside, let me continue. Those are lacking parts. You may have to learn and find out yourself. The purpose of school is basically just academic education with a tad bit of life lessons added by the other people that you're going to school with. I'm missing 2 things. I've already said it once, one of them, but I didn't really elaborate on it that much. The first part is, I'm going to read from my notebook 2 more things, and that will really cap everything off. This is just a little bonus part, and then I'll come to my conclusion. The only way that you can really put into practice the things that you have learned is if you practice them, not if you remember them, because I don't remember everything I've learned from school. I can tell you that for a fact. But if I practice it, then there is a possibility that I may remember how to do it, sort of. And even after school, since this topic, and even technically this video, is about future life, it can help us in the future, but if we don't, it's not that we're going to remember everything that we've learned from school, even in our future life. So, but the things that we have practiced, it is most likely to come back to us, maybe like, oh, that's yes, or yeah, I remember how to do this, or I know how to do this. I'm going to take me as an example because I only have me as an example to give. But well, from my personal experience, I have me as an example to give, i.e. French. When I started French, I didn't really practice it, but I was decent at it. I was not that bad, taking into account that I only speak one language, i.e. obviously English. And yes, so taking that into account, French, I was good at it from the start because I was learning it. I grasped it like that. It was like, oh, okay, sexy language, French. Ooh. Anyways, that's the case, sure. But the thing was, I don't have any French-speaking relatives. I have Italian-speaking relatives and people in my family who speak Yoruba, but I don't speak French to any of them because, one, they won't know. Two, they don't speak the language, and none of my friends speak French fluently or anything like that. It's not like while we're speaking English, oh yes, je m'appelle Sasuke Uchiwa. No, we won't just go into French while we're speaking English to try and practice it like that. No, we just speak English. So the less and less that I practiced it, especially during that 4 months lockdown, I'm telling you, no matter how many Zoom calls, school things we did, it did not matter. All of my intelligence wasn't gone. It disappeared. So it just went. But yeah, during that time, I didn't practice French. I mean, I practiced French in school, so that was helping me keep up, I guess. But also, since I didn't practice it at home during those 4 months, I was lacking a little bit when I went back to school. So if I didn't, let's say again, for example, I did not practice that subject, I turned out to not be so good in it. You get what I'm trying to say? I mean, as long as you remember like the formula and like the so bits here and there, the basics, then we can grasp the harder and harder things. But we need to remember the foundation to understand the higher. Anyways, yeah, hand signs because I'm Italian. Anyways, what was I saying? I've completely went off topic and went off track. So let me get back on track, which the final bonus point, which is basically Steve Jobs, I believe. No, Steve. I know Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, I believe, dropped out of, as far as I am concerned, university. So I'm not saying that, oh yes, in order for me to become an entrepreneur, I can drop out of secondary school and I'll learn everything from Google. No. I mean, I'm just thinking this now, but for example, yes, they dropped out of university, they did drop out of school, and they did end up becoming the best, and not the best, but some of the most well-known brands on this planet. But I'm not saying Steve. I remember Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and someone else, but it slipped my mind. It'll probably be on the screen, maybe. If not, Google search them yourself, because I can't be asked. But yes, they dropped out of school. It's not like saying, it's this whole thing that I'm saying right now is not trying to diminish everything else that I've just said. It's like, yes, all the good parts. But if you drop out of the university, then you can become really well and famous. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I know it may sound like that, but it's not. What I'm trying to get at with this final point is that you need to find something that you're really, really good at. And once you've grasped it and have an idea, foundational and idea that you think will work, or not think, screw think, that you know there is at least a 99.99999% chance that it will work, then, and only then, if it's deemed necessary, school is not necessary. But that's university. That's after you've learnt everything that you need to know in order to put the idea into fruition. So yeah, I guess that's the end of this video. In conclusion, either way we still need school, because it's not like Steve Jobs dropped out of primary school like, oh yes, I know everything about technology in year 3, I know how to make a phone now. No, dropped out of university. That's a completely different thing. If you're watching this and like high school and like you're thinking about dropping out, yes, high school, screw high school, I'm going to drop out from high school starting from tomorrow. I'm going to tell my mom that I know exactly what to do. No, please don't. And if you're going to go to her and tell her that, yes, I watched this YouTuber who told me if I drop out of school, I can become one of the most famous people in the world, please don't. Because that's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, yeah, that's basically the conclusion. Stay in school, kids, please, for the love of God. Until you're happy with your knowledge. And yeah, and keep a little bit of competition. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. I guess that wraps everything up. Yeah, before I talk for too long, I'll see you in the next video. Please stay humble, stay in school, please. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Peace.